Thank you very much. Next one is Te Pataka o Rakaihautu, Banks Peninsula Community Board. Tori Peden. Kia ora and good morning.
Morena. Okay, so we have got one Part A as part of our report, and that is for 55 Woodhills Road in Akaroa. Okay, Banks Peninsula Community Board received 22 applications this year for our Some With Your Neighbours. A total of over $8,000 was requested. 3 applications were outside the scope and referred to DRF funding. 19 applicants were granted a total of $3,000 between them. It's not working. No, hang on, go back. Sorry. I might just change screen. No, sorry, bear with me. I'm sort of trying to one paper hanger at the moment. Events range from street parties, working bees, barbecues, neighbourhood Halloween to a community gathering complete with defibrillator demonstration, beach cleanup and barbecues. So it's money we feel well spent in the community. Now this is the big one. Okay, so we were really fortunate to have Governor's Bay School come and present to us on the 21st of September. They delivered a powerful presentation to the Community Board on key learnings and actions on climate change. Students from years 5 to 8 have been learning about climate change as part of the Ministry of Environment's Climate Change Learning Programme, Prepare Today, Live Well Tomorrow. Christchurch City Council have been supporting the delivery of this programme in a number of low-lying coastal and inland schools, with additional adaptation lessons for schools to raise awareness and start conversations about the impacts of sea level rise and how we can respond as a city. Thanks to the Council for starting the important work around climate change. The Year 7 and 8 students who presented to the board provided an engaging summary of what climate change is and why it is a problem, shared some ideas of what could be done, what the Governor's Bay School are already doing, and what their hopes and dreams are for 2025. The board have written to Whakakotahi, New Zealand Transport Association, to express concerns about the rapid deterioration of State Highway 75. Now this is not council roading, this is NZTA roading, but there is a great concern about the deterioration, especially between Cooptown and Devotials. Recent repairs, cracking and slumping, severe dips and potholes, and areas where the road edge is close to a steep drop and safety barriers would be beneficial. So we're forwarding that to NZTA, or have done. It's a great concern. And our Banks Peninsula Walking Festival is going ahead between the 7th and 29th of November, organised by Rod Donald Trust, Little River Wairewa Community Trust, Project Littleton, and supported by the board. Experienced guides will lead you on tracks, reserves and private lands every Saturday and Sunday during that time. Tickets are available through Event Finder, and at this stage 13 guided walks were already sold out and 14 guided walks have available spaces. Very popular event on the peninsula. That's it for today.
Thank you. Well, James had his hand up straight away, presumably because he wants to enrol for one of them, and now he realises that he's too late for 13 of them, so he's going to have to find one of the other ones.
And some of the walks are great.
In actual fact, I was photobombing what Pauline was doing. I did that.
Good one.
Yeah. Well, actually, while I've got the talking stick, I just... is it quick?
Yeah, of course.
Look, you raised the issue of the condition of the roads on the peninsula. And you quite rightly point out that the responsibility in some of those areas is NZTA, Waka Kotahi. Have you had any conversations at community board level regarding the speed limit through Little River, right, and where it ends? It ends too soon on the Akaroa end.
We were, was it last Waitangi Day? We had the council out for a citizenship ceremony, and we had 2 near misses while we were there. So we know firsthand as to how fast people are going past that busy stretch of road. And the board and also the community have raised that with NZTA previously. So we are still having that ongoing discussion. It is not safe through there. That's why children have to catch a bus from just less than 4 kilometres away from school, because it is not safe to bike or walk from that area to the school.
I just wonder whether we are able to add our weight as a council to your
Appreciate it.
request. I know that it's been raised before because obviously I was
You were there.
I had a role in the citizenship ceremony, and and actually I drove over there on the weekend, and it was. I was very alert to the fact that that was an area, and even though the marae wasn't being used on that day, it's not hard to imagine how tricky it is to get up to that speed limit from having been through a 60k area, which is rather fast for even the Little River area, I might say, but it is state highway, so that's the challenge.
There is frustration because it goes from 60 to 100 back to 70 for Cooptown, and the 100 kilometre an hour is less than what, a kilometre? It's a small step, in amongst. There is activities.
So
going
even
on
if
that
it
area.
was at 70 all the way through, but I still think the 60 should pop out past the marae.
Yeah.
And then it should shift to 70.
Well, for full disclosure, that marae is one of mine, Wairewa, and I was there on Sunday as well. And I noticed that the 60 speed limit ends by the domain, and I think that's crazy. That the domain is even more congested and busier than my lovely marae. So that is crazy.
And it's a popular walking area as well.
Yeah.
They leave from the back of the domain to go around Pa Road,
Right.
and so people have to navigate fast-moving traffic just across the road there. So it is state highway, and there is a concern locally. I mean, my children and I do experience that area.
Yeah, well, I'm pleased that the Mayor has raised this as something that we could throw our weight behind, and I would ask all of our councillors, because it's such a beautiful part of our city over there, and we need to keep it safe.
Yes.
All right?
Thank you.
So Joe's going to put some words up there. So not only will we receive the report, but we'll also record our support for the reduction or the extension of the speed limit out of Little River. So that I mean, we'll find some particular wording, but we can resolve that as part of our receiving your report today.
That's appreciated.
Presumably you'd like to move this.
I would love to move it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I might take James as the seconder, given that we've had that korero. So, is there any discussion? Andrew?
Yeah, if I can just add to the discussion about the Little River Cooptown speed limits. The answer to your question, James, is over a long period of time, regularly and repeatedly. And that's really discussions at the community board table and engagement with NZTA, but probably more to the point, attempted engagement with NZTA a lot of the time. The view of the Little River community expressed very strongly at the time that the speed limit was reduced from 70 to 60 was that the speed limit through the Little River township should be 50, and the 100k speed limit between the end of Little River, and I agree that it ends, the 60 ends way too early, and Cooptown is a real anomaly. It's a very short distance of 100k's. The tendency is for people to pick up speed in the lower speed zones to get to 100 by the time they're entering the 100 zone. And at night time, it's much worse. That behaviour is much worse than it is during the day because of a complete lack of any enforcement. So, I absolutely support any wording that would lead to an extension of the 60, ideally, in my world, right the way from the beginning of Little River to the bottom of the hill as you come out of Cooptown. But there is a view in the Little River community that the Little River part of it in the built-up area should be 50, not 60.
Thank you.
We're just trying to get some wording, but it's essentially extending, support the community board's request to NZTA to adjust the speed limits as
Leave it at that.
appropriate, you know, and then we'll just leave it generic like that, but we'll get in behind you.
No, that's
Yeah.
fantastic. Thank you.
All right, I'll put that motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. It's carried. There you go. You didn't know you were going to leave with that today, so well done.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. The next one is the Waitai Coastal Burwood Community